Here we are, it's that time of year again, and we're getting ready for the Thanksgiving startups. We're here in Charlotte at my parents' house, and we have the two different cars here. We have my 2010 Camry, we have my dad's 2024 Genesis GV80, and my mum's 2020 Camry to go through, and mine and my dad's random collection of political signs from every possible candidate. But here we go. We will start up the 2020 Camry. This car's been going well this year. No foreseeable problems or anything. I've been driving this car the past few weeks because my parents have been in New Zealand, and so obviously we've got push button start. This car has 70,658 miles. So this one's warmed up. I've just been driving it. There's the start up, 2.5 litre 4-cylinder. So it's got 70,658. I'm not sure how many miles that puts on it. I think about 12,000. This car doesn't get driven as much now that my dad drives the Genesis a lot. But yeah, no, this car's been going quite well and all the rest of that, so no issues. We can look under the hood. There it is, 2.5 litre 4-cylinder. So everything has been going pretty well with this car. There it is at the back. The interior is still looking pretty good. No issues over there, so nothing really to report on this one, minus the increase in miles. So we can shut this one off. Move on to the next one. Next we will probably go and start my 2010 Camry, which is in the garage. And both this Camry and the Genesis have probably not been started for 3 weeks. So this will be definitely a cold start for a long time. So here we are back with the 2010 Camry. We'll go inside and start this one up. It's the same car I've had for quite a while. It's still my daily driver. I drive a lot further on it now because my commute is about 110 miles round trip. So this car's been having a lot more miles on it. But again, this is the first time this car's been started up in about 3 weeks. So this will be a cold start. But as you can see, we have 233,065 miles. So it's had a lot more miles put on it. It's probably about 20,000 in the past year. Starts right up after 3 weeks, no problem. It has a dead TPMS sensor, but I'm not so concerned about that. Really, the biggest problem with this car is still the air conditioning. I took it in this May, got it recharged, worked for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then it died again, and then my wedding was around that time, and so I never had a chance to take it back in. And anyway, but yeah, the AC does not blow cold in this car. It's clearly got some kind of leak somewhere. Waiting to see what I do with the car. Obviously this time of year it doesn't matter, but yeah, I'll see if it makes sense to get it fixed in next summer. But overall the car's been going good. It still burns about 1/4 oil every 1,000 miles, so I do have to constantly refill it up. But we're backing this one out of the driveway here. Brakes are obviously squeaky because it's been cold for a long time. But let's back this one out. We can take a look at it while it's outside. Let's take a look under the hood. trying to think what other work I've had done to this car this year. Really just maintenance. It did get a valve cover gasket replacement in March because that was leaking. Still on the same set of tires. I don't really think there's much else it's had done to it. Maybe one or two things like tie rod ends, I can't remember, but I mean just general maintenance. But apart from the oil burning and the AC, it still runs just fine for my commute. 110 miles a day, back and forth, so still going strong. Obviously interior wise it's still in great condition for, you know, being a 14, nearly 15-year-old car with this many miles. So there it is, 233.65. We can shut this one off. There it goes. So here is the 2014 Ford Focus. This is my wife's car. And this car's been doing pretty good this year. Hasn't really had any problems. None to think of. These headlights we need to polish up. They've gotten really fogged up. She complains about them at night, but you can have a look. It's got the smart key access. It's a bit of a mess in here, as it usually is, but you can take a look at this one. Start it up. It has 136,115 miles. So we put a fair amount of miles on this year. We drove it a lot because the AC in my Camry is still out. So we've been driving this quite a lot, which isn't super ideal given the transmission issues these cars have. But push button start down the side here, we can start this one up. There it fires to life. 2-litre inline 4-cylinder. This car has a few little funny electrical things, like the reverse camera, backup camera. Well, it works now as I film this video, but sometimes it won't work. Most of the time it doesn't actually work. It's very laggy with the trajectory as well. Most of the time it doesn't work. What else is strange with this car? Obviously the screen down here has kind of gotten broken. The horn doesn't work, as you can see. What it takes is, there's a little box down there where the horn wiring is, basically in the front grille of the car. Kind of have to wiggle that and it works for a while. So rather than just fixing the horn, I wiggle it before it gets state inspection, so it works. But it's not ideal that the horn doesn't work. But reliability wise, this car has been pretty good this year. I mean, the transmission is still obviously quite jerky, but we've had no transmission issues. Often what I'll do is I'll end up resetting the transmission, which in these Fords is really easy to do just by turning the car off, keeping it in neutral and restarting it. So I've been doing that a lot. But there was one thing I replaced under the hood earlier this year, and we'll go under the hood and take a look. Here it is. So under the hood here, what I had to replace, this line back there. The purge valve, canister valve, so essentially it's part of the EVAP system. It was a $25 part on Amazon, and it threw a check engine light, and when I put gas in the car, it would sputter and not start properly. So got out my scan tool, figured out, you know, that was the line. $25 part on Amazon, and it worked just great. So yeah, no other issues to report. The engine's been really reliable, and yeah, that covers about all the updates we need to know on the Focus. So I can shut this one off for this year and move on to the next one, and for the final video, I'm going to do the 2021 RAV4 and the 2024 Highlander. So the Highlander, here's the key for it. It's brand new this year. This car was purchased in March from Toyota of Greensboro, as you can see. If I go inside, obviously it's got smart key access. It's got black interior, so it's black Softex leather. I can go in here. This car has 20,238 miles, so gets driven quite a fair bit, considering that's about, you got to end of February, so that's about 10 months of driving. Not even that, 9 months of driving. Push button start. And it comes to life. So this car obviously has the 2.4 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder, which is different from the the Highlanders that the V6 had. It wasn't ideal, but we still wanted my in-laws still wanted the Highlander, so they ended up getting it. Start stop, that's an obligatory, turn that off every time we drive the car, of course. But it has an 8-speed automatic, which it has there. So this car's been doing pretty good. We can look under the hood and see the new engine. If I pop it here. Fortunately, this car has a rod which needs to come down, but there it is. 2.4 litre turbo. Makes about 270 horsepower. We'll see how reliable it is. I think it should be a pretty reliable engine, just given the 2.4 is a very reliable engine, and Toyota wouldn't have put a turbocharger on it if they didn't know what they were doing. But overall, this car is very good. In the back it has captain's chairs, so it has the 2 captain's chairs and then the 3rd row which can come up there. And in the back has the automatic power lift gate, which currently it's got a whole lot of camping chairs because we went to a horse show a couple of weeks ago. But pop that down. Obviously this car has had no problems at all this year because it is a brand new car, and I would very much hope it wouldn't have any issues, but it's all good. So the XLE model is pretty good. I mean, it has the leather seats. It's only got heated seats here. This is where cooled seats would be if you got the limited or the platinum. But no, this has been a great car, good size. So this ended up replacing the Ford Edge. It really has ended up replacing the Sienna for all of the kind of long miles, yeah, to get put on it. But the Ford Edge, it was getting old. Had the fuel pump was going out. I mean, you had to start it 3 times after getting gas, and then it turned into 4 times, and so that was going, and then the AC went out over the summer, and you know, it's a Ford with over 200,000 miles, so it was going, and so that car's gone, and this one is here, and no, overall, great little car. You can shut this one off here, and then we can go over to the RAV4. And obviously it has smart key on the front doors. And for the final car, here we have 2021 RAV4, which is the newest car. This was bought probably 2 months ago, and it replaced the Sienna. The Sienna was still going strong, but the AC started going out in July, and then it ended up having an alternator that went out, and it was going to need some work on the rear end to get it to pass state inspection. And so it had about 371,000 miles when it finally got traded in, which it was traded in for this car, which was obviously a used RAV4. So it's a 2021, it's an XLE Premium front wheel drive. We can go in and take a look at it. So it's grey on the inside, and then it's got kind of the light grey two-tone Softex interior. It has 29,488 miles. It had about 27,000 when it was bought. So they put about 3,000 miles on it. Most of that is it went up to Vermont a couple weeks ago. So that's what most of that mileage is. But this one being XLE Premium, push button start. So if I should put my foot on the brake, hit the button, starts right up. 2.5 litre inline 4-cylinder, so the exact same engine as in our 2020 Camry, identical, same transmission, 8-speed automatic, so identical. This backup camera. These XLE Premiums are actually kind of basic for what they are, honestly. Like this car, for example, which my in-laws didn't realize until they'd already bought the car, because they were buying it in September and didn't think about this, is this car doesn't have heated seats. So you've got these Softex seats, but no heated seats. That is an option as part of the cold weather package on these XLE Premium RAV4s, which I kind of think is ridiculous for an XLE Premium model not to have heated seats standard. But you know, each to their own. So obviously this was bought used, so we kind of had less discrepancy, and it was kind of bought in a hurry because they wanted to get rid of the Sienna before something else went wrong. So that is the biggest downside to this car, is the no heated seats. Obviously this car's had no problem so far because, again, it's kind of a brand new car. We can go and have a look under the hood. If I find the latch here. So it has the LED headlights, which is nice. There's the hood. It was stuck a little bit. This one's got a rut as well, but I won't put that up. You can see it's the 2.5 litre 4-cylinder, so 203 horsepower. Exact same motor as in the Camry. So very reliable, 8-speed automatic, very reliable. This car should last a very long time. Obviously these ones were built in Canada, so this was built in the Cambridge, Ontario plant, which is interesting. And then the Highlander was built in the Indiana plant. So we have that. Then on the inside, there's the back seats are back here, so it's quite a spacious car. In the back, this one also has a power lift gate. I'm not sure if that was an option on the XLE Premium or not, but I think maybe it's an option on the XLE and standard on the XLE Premium. But it has 2 tailpipes in the back, which is interesting because the Camrys definitely don't have that. But no doubt this car, 2025, will be the last year of this model RAV4, and it will get redesigned as a hybrid only. I have no doubt about that. So this will be the last model cycle of gasoline RAV4, just like the Camry was. And the wheels on this are pretty nice, so can go back in. We can shut this one up. Actually move this one forward a little bit so it's a little closer. It's going to be a very cold night here in Greensboro. It's probably going to get down to about 22 degrees, so definitely a hard freeze tonight right after Thanksgiving. So we'll shut this one off. That's when those heated seats would be nice tomorrow morning, right? So No, but otherwise this car's been going quite well. So we can hop on out. And again, this one has smart keys. You just tap it and it locks all the doors. So yeah, that wraps up all the cars in Greensboro to have a look at. And the final one, I'll get a video on the Genesis. Here is the final startup video a few days after Thanksgiving. It's actually a week after, but I finally got around to doing the Genesis. Here it is, here's the key. This car has obviously had no problems this year. It's still brand new, pretty much. You can see the interior. The only thing with this white color, my mum's, jeans have started to stain that passenger seat a little bit, which is probably part of the reason. Well, it's one of the reasons my dad has a cover on this, but it's also because he plays sports, goes out there a lot. So you can see this year we have 18,423 miles on it. Starting up well. No issues with this car this year. We can back it out and take a look at it. There's the 360 camera. Let's have a look under the hood this year. So there it is. Been doing well. Pop the hood here. There it is. 3.5 litre twin turbo V6, 375 horsepower. So this car's been doing quite well. It looks like it's actually just being cleaned as well. So I'll put this one back away in the garage. Let me put my 360 camera on so that I can see what I'm doing. This one usually has to be pulled right up to the very front here, so even when it's, yeah, you basically have to go to the red when it stops to have it fit in. So we'll put it in park, shut it off. There's its little goodbye chime for me. Little puddle lamps. Make sure that we've got enough of clearance in the garage, which we do. And we'll take the key, lock it up, mirrors will fold in, the lights will go off. So that wraps it up for 2024. There's my 2010 and there's the 2020.